Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to have a quick look at ChatGPT. So the other day in the live we were talking about ChatGPT, and we were kind of just talking about how it can overcome you in a way that the more that it actually takes on your information, the more it is starting to tell you who you are rather than you actually knowing it for yourself. And what I mean by this is that when we use ChatGPT and we are logged into it and we have an account, it is holding on to all of our information. As it holds on to all of our information, it is knowing who we are as a person. It's going to know how we tick, and it's going to know about our emotions and everything that we put into it. And when this happens, it is actually giving us a biased answer to the questions that we are going to be asking in the future. And what I mean by this is that the more information that it gets, the more it starts to be on your side, and the more it starts to validate everything that you say, rather than giving you an unbiased answer and helping you to kind of be aware of how you can evolve and grow. So for instance, if there is something going on in your reality, and let's say, for example, you have a disagreement with someone and you feel a bit triggered by it, and you go onto your ChatGPT and it has all the information from before. Let's say you go into the account and you use the account, and it opens up everything. It knows who you are, it knows your emotions, and you actually explain the trigger that you have within you. ChatGPT is going to find all the ways on how to validate that, which is only going to fuel what is going on inside you, meaning that if you had anger or frustration, rather than actually allowing the anger and frustration to come up and then let it go, the ChatGPT will start to fuel it in a way that you will start to see the validation for this anger and frustration, meaning that the more you hold on to that anger and frustration by reading what ChatGPT is saying, feeling validated, and then actually thinking that, yeah, okay, I'm right and the other person's wrong, the more that we start doing that, the less then we are being authentic to ourselves. And when this happens, it means that we are actually allowing a computer to tell us how we feel, rather than actually being at one with ourselves, taking a few moments to ask ourselves why we're angry and why we're frustrated, and to figure out if there is anything that we maybe need to soothe ourselves in, or is there anything that I need to talk about with this person and maybe find a solution in a relationship, or anything. It could be anything to do with our reality, money, or anything that we are manifesting. So when this happens, looking at ChatGPT from staying logged out of it is the better, from my own perspective and how I use it, is to stay logged out. And this is because if you stay logged out when you ask a question, there is no information being retained. So there is no account or anything like that. So they are giving you the actual answer that is more healthy for you to actually read, and it'll give you the tips and everything like that for you to manage what it is that you are feeling. So I want to say as well that I'm not saying that feelings and things are not validated. All your feelings are validated, they're valid, and they're a part of what you're going through. And so you do want to acknowledge them. However, holding on to them and fueling them by listening to a biased answer like ChatGPT account is only going to fuel more of it within you. And when we are fueled emotionally in these type of ways, we don't find the solution because we start blaming the outside. So if you look at it from this perspective, the more we listen to a computer, the more, in this way, and we listen to the account of the computer because it's holding all of our information, the more our mind is going to be warped. And the more that our mind is going to be warped to this computer, when eventually we will not be able to, figure things out for ourselves without going to this computer first, without asking ChatGPT, what am I going to do next? So essentially, you can see that ChatGPT is going to take over. It's going to take over you as a person, the more that we rely on it in this way. So when we want to actually use ChatGPT, it's a good thing to kind of be aware of. Don't get so focused on the account of who you are in ChatGPT. So rather, as I say, allowing it to have all the information about you, stay outside of it and only use it as a logged out guest. When you want to ask a question or when you want to process an emotion, it will help you in the best way in those ways, because it's seeing it from the actual proper response and from the actual unbiased way, meaning that it's going to be a balanced answer rather than being, biased and just on your side and not seeing the bigger picture, if that makes sense. So I thought I would do a quick video on that. If anyone has any questions or about this, or if there is anything within it about what you think about it, please comment down below. I'd like to hear what you think about this idea of ChatGPT and this idea that if we continue to allow it to take power over us, it will eventually have power over us. And so while it is becoming increasingly popular over the past couple of years since it started out, when was it, 2022, it's becoming even more popular now. Imagine what it's going to be like in 10 years time. So it's good to be aware of it in this way and to kind of just be mindful of how you are allowing yourself to be vulnerable, I suppose you could say, with ChatGPT. So I'll leave that video there, and I will chat to you soon.